National 5, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Yo Soy Neighborhoods, Fresno. Hi, my name is Edna Collins, founder of Yo Soy Media Inc. and Yo Soy Neighborhoods, Fresno. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you that we've been given a great opportunity. Starting next Friday, the 30th, we're going to go live on CMAC TV. So we'll still stay between the hours of 4 to 5 o'clock. We will also be introducing some other panelists. We're going to be doing a rotation. So Mickey will be rotated. It'll be 4 or 5 of us. There'll be Doc, Elena, Lawrence, Smiley. We're going to be working on a couple of projects, so we're changing a little. So just thought I'd let you know. So today we have a short film. It's talking about adults returning back to school. You're an adult, 18 years old. You could be working full time. So watch that clip.
So you're talking about a first-generation American from the streets of the Imperial Valley who rose to beat the odds. She didn't just become a nurse and get her bachelor's. She worked nights and weekends till she earned herself a master's degree. A few years back, she was running in a marathon when a man behind her collapsed from cardiac arrest. She ran to the scene, flipped this guy over, and started performing CPR, keeping him alive for the 22 minutes it took for an ambulance to arrive. She went from working at a swap meet to earning her bachelor's, her master's, and using her experience to save this man's life. So why do I think there should be more people like Carmen Bravo in this world? Because that man was me.
Back to Yo Soy Neighborhoods, Fresno. Today we have our panelists, Mickey
Hi.
Addison.
Mickey, glad to see you.
And today will be her rotate out today. We're going to be cross-training a few other people on our production team. And then today we're very honored to have Brooks Cornell with us. He is the campus director for Phoenix University. And we're talking primarily today about adult courses. Those working adults out there, you have an opportunity to change your pay grade, I guess is what you want to call it. That's what I was looking for. I went to work full-time and went to school full-time and took care of a teenager, roaring. Anyway, you know those type of things. Anyway, so at that time I was going to Rio Hondo School and they didn't really have coursework dedicated to the adults other than the nursing courses. So the University of Phoenix, I think they started around 1980 something, zeroing in on adult coursework and adult needs. When they say adult, they meant people that are out there working. You'd be 18 or 17 and you're working full-time. You've already graduated from high school and you want to start your university work. This is a great opportunity because not only do they have the coursework, but they also have life, work, school balance. They kind of help you psychologically, get you going in that training and coursework. So Brooks, that's his nickname.
Yes, that's my nickname.
Yeah. Anyway, I like it though. It's a nice nickname. Brooks, you've been here in Fresno, California area for about were you born and raised here, or?
I consider myself born and raised here. I moved when I was 8 years old from the Midwest with my parents.
Okay. What part of the Midwest?
Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio.
Interesting.
Go Cleveland Browns out there. So this year's going to be a great year.
So it's a farm community?
We were an industrial community out in the west side of Cleveland. And my father came out here to do some work over kind of piggyback transportation. So putting the fruits and vegetables that we grow here in the valley on the back of the trains and getting them up and down the coast for that transportation business.
Okay.
And then moved into another organization, actually started his own company, doing a lot of brokerage of getting those same fresh grown fruits and vegetables here in the valley overseas. And so he was doing a lot of the shipping, getting the containers out of the Bay Area and Long Beach and things.
That's wonderful. He helped us
Yeah. Oh yeah.
quite a bit, and that
We
was
feed
like
the world in
80s,
the Central
90s?
Valley. Yeah, that was in the mid 80s, and then ever since have been here in Fresno. I call it my home. I raise my children here, and we don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, that's great. That's great. So, now, how did you get to be campus director?
Oh, that's a long story. I started off with the
Give us the short version.
University. I'll do my best. University of Phoenix 15 years ago, and the best part about where I started is I worked individually with those working adults. I was a Phoenix as well. I was a working adult. A single father at the time of a 2-year-old going back to school, trying to have that work-life balance. And so then I got to start helping those students who are in similar situations and learning their stories of how the struggles exist to continue to kind of get to that next place in your life.
So you attended all those classes?
Yep. Well, I originally was very blessed to be going to school with my parents helping pay for my education. I started off at UC Davis, and then circumstances led to me not being able to continue there. And one of the great benefits about being employed at the University of Phoenix is I got my tuition paid for. So I was able to go back to the University of Phoenix and not have any of the debt or costs for going back to school, which was extremely fortunate for me. And finish my education there.
Yeah.
So.
And just not to do it backwards, but we'll mention it. They also give a little achievement awards, don't they help?
Yeah, there are different awards. There are a lot of partnerships. Because we work with working adults throughout the valley, we do work with different organizations and partner with a number of organizations where those working adults and partnership that we have with that company actually affords an additional reduction in some of the tuition for some of our students. So we really do value the employees here at the university, or excuse me, in the valley as well, that support their working adults go back to school. A lot of the organizations have tuition assistance where the organizations themselves will pay a portion of that cost for their employees. It's part of that benefit package.
Oh, good.
So we work with those organizations and help kind of
Do you have a
extend
list
it.
of those organizations, or you just need to, if they're working, they need to just ask?
Yes, if they're working, they need to ask. Part of the challenge is with that list is that there are some confidential agreements with a number of the organizations, so we're not able to publicly list, here's all of the wonderful organizations that we do work with. But there are some very well-known large organizations. Actually, the largest employers in the valley are partnered with the University of Phoenix, where every 6th course we're able to help waive their tuition costs.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that sounds good.
So yeah, definitely helps.
That's
I didn't know
really
anything about it except to have heard about it and maybe passed by. Where's the actual location again?
The current location in the Central Valley, there's actually 3 in the Central Valley. Knowing that we're in Fresno right now, our location is kind of by River Park Shopping Center, just north of the River Park Shopping Center off the Friant exit. There's that tall 6-story black glass building that a lot of people
41
see the
freeway.
University of Phoenix building or sign on the building,
Saw
but
it.
don't realize that that's actually where the classes are held as well.
Okay, so it's not an online, it's an actual in-class.
It's an either or.
Oh,
Students have the ability to attend 100% asynchronously online.
Okay.
And some of our programs are only available online, while other students do choose and like that in-class face-to-face learning.
With the teacher.
Right, with the instructor in the class and some of that facilitation happening in the evening that they're in class.
Right.
They attend that 1 night a week, 5-week courses, so every 5 weeks they go to a next class, only taking 1 course at a time.
Oh, okay.
And that course is from 6 until 10.
5 days a week.
1 day a week.
One
So
day.
every Tuesday, or depending on whatever night of the week your actual
It's
course is,
1 night a week.
you're there for those 5 weeks. The next 5 weeks, you would start your next course.
Oh, that's pretty
That's
focused.
good.
It is focused, and some studies have been done about adult learners, where because adult learners have so many other things to balance in their life, you mentioned your teenage son working full-time, Simultaneously, a number of other students have other risk factors as well, trying to balance. Because our mind is taken up by other activities in life, when soccer practice, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
It's found that the adult learner can focus on one subject at a time and be much more successful. So that's really how the University of Phoenix started back in, you're close, 1978.
Oh, I was close.
Before World Wide Web, we were doing online, which is interesting to think about.
Right, okay. And so now over time you've studied us and figured out that you're more zeroed in on, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we continue to identify the programs that are most beneficial for the students the demographics of the students that we're trying to assist. So a lot of the curriculum is also developed in conjunction with what we would call an industry partner. So for example, a human resource student might know of the Society for Human Resource Management. It's a national organization that you can take tests and show that you're a member of. Well, we try to develop the curriculum alongside SHRM to help make sure our students are being prepared for what's relevant in the industry today. And we do that along with other industries as well. SHRM is just a pretty well-known organization and one of those examples.
The majority is business-related classes?
We offer business courses with a number of different, what would be referred to kind of as a concentration. We do it a little bit different. Embedded into the program, you actually can earn a certificate.
Okay.
Does not mean that you are certified in that, but you earn a certificate, which is essentially saying I have some educational knowledge in this concentrated area. And there's 13 different options within the business world.
And it gets you in the door.
Yes, and it's along the way of your bachelor's degree, so it's almost an early credential on someone's resume.
But you will have to go somewhere else to get the BA.
No, you would continue on earning the general education requirements and the rest of the business curriculum in order to complete that business degree with, let's say, a human resource certificate for that example.
So in other words, all the components kind of mix and match according to what the real life necessity to get into that particular discipline as an employee.
Yep, we teach the discipline for the knowledge that's needed, as well as help them earn their bachelor's degree for what someone referred to as kind of getting your foot in the door, or when that job posting says degree required, you have to complete that bachelor's degree in the 120 credits and requirements thereof to complete that particular degree program. And it doesn't just end in business. We do offer criminal justice programs, health administration.
You do forensic?
Not forensics, no. So a lot of the sciences require in-lab work.
Okay.
So we don't do the in-lab work.
Okay.
Where, for instance, a nursing program, we do offer an RN to BSN, so an associate's degree in nursing is what someone would get at a community college.
Okay.
West Hills or Fresno City.
Right.
But those who want to move on to their bachelor's degree would do an RN, so I'm a registered nurse, and want to become a bachelor's degree candidate and complete a bachelor's degree. So we would take those students at that point.
Okay.
That's a theory-based learning, not a lab-based learning, which is what the RN portion would be.
Right.
So now you said you had criminal justice. We have a little film here. What was his name? Detective
Danny Kim. He was actually one of our keynote speakers in our most recent commencement ceremonies over in the Save March Center.
Okay.
And he's a local detective.
Okay. Why don't we do that, Anita? Run Mr. Kim's film. Watch that film, everyone. That's someone here.
Locally.
A local graduate.
I was waken up by the sound of shootings and people screaming, and my dad had grabbed me and ran down the stairs. We escaped the Khmer Rouge work camp when I was 6 years old, and I came to the U.S. as a refugee. I did not speak any English. It felt like crossing over into a different world. My family had told me that they can take anything away from you. They can take your freedom, they can take your money, your home, anything from you, but not your education. I never imagined that I would have a college degree. I've never imagined that I'm able to serve the community by being a police officer. from my background, if I can make it this far, you can do it too.
So that was
Detective Danny Kim.
Detective Danny Kim. Now, he was a recent graduate, or what year did he graduate?
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head. He's graduated actually with his bachelor's and his master's.
He went back to the master's?
Yep.
Okay, and how is that structured?
Master's degree programs are structured just like our bachelor's degree programs, where students can either go one night a week or they can go 100% online. Small caveat or small difference is that the students take, instead of a 5-week course at a time, it's one 6-week course at a time.
One
Okay.
6-week course at a time.
And students can do, masters in criminal justice administration would be an example, like Danny Kim. They do masters in business administration.
Do you have any masters in filmmaking? No.
Yeah, there is a bachelor's in communications, which
I
would be
have that.
along the lines of what is going on here.
Right.
There's also a master's of science in counseling, marriage, family, child therapy, which is a very heavily regulated program for the state of California. So we have to meet all of the requirements for that program, and then would, of course, allow the student with the other requirements that are needed as well, because there's certain hours to earn a license.
Well, it's a certified class. I mean, you're, how do you say, for the state of California, all of your
Credentials?
Yeah, I think what you might be
Accredited?
referring to is accreditation. Right?
Accreditation,
There are-
that one.
There are multiple forms of accreditation.
Okay.
There are programmatic accreditations, and then there's what's called a regional or a national accreditation. National accreditation typically refers to most trade schools, where regional accreditation refers to most universities. Regional accreditation, there's 6 of them in the United States, and it's based off of the region of where your main campus is.
Okay.
Our main location, Phoenix, Arizona, it would be accredited or has the ability to be accredited through the Higher Learning Commission. And we've held our accreditation without losing it throughout the entire period that the University of Phoenix has been in existence.
1978.
1978, yep. And remain accredited through the HLC. There's also specific programmatic accreditation. So when we were talking about the business program,
Right.
that's the BCPSSS. Don't ask me to say what that acronym means. I don't have that note in front of me. Or like a nursing program that would go
Right.
through the CCNE accreditation. So we also go through specific accreditations for certain programs.
So why don't we touch a little bit with the folks. For example, let me run by this scenario. Tell me how you would help. I'm just, I decided or got into a situation where I ended up getting married and having a baby, but I did graduate high school. So now I'm 21, 22, baby's a couple of years old. How could you help me get back into school? Give people an example from there.
Yeah, that's a great question. The first thing we'd want to do is assess what your needs are. The University of Phoenix is really looking at trying to help students with career-relevant education for working adults. So we want to see if you're the best fit for the University of Phoenix, or if there are other institutions that might be the best fit for you. If you are that adult that has a busy life, you might consider a class structure such as the University of Phoenix, where you can have that fit into your busy life. So we'd identify first the structure itself of it is fitting what your needs
So
are.
you're going through a testing or some type of interviewing, or how does that come about?
Great question. We actually interview you on a one-on-one basis, so we
Okay.
would set up a time that works best for your needs.
Okay.
Now, some of our students are really busy, so they can't do that face-to-face. So we have the ability to do it face-to-face at our learning centers, which we have, the one in Fresno, there's a Visalia Learning Center and a Bakersfield Learning Center, so we are throughout the Central Valley. Or they can come, do that over the phone or come in face-to-face, whatever's kind of best for that particular student.
Okay.
Once we assess the modality, like what needs you have that fit into your life, for instance, some people work nights and can't come to school at night, or their schedule changes, and so maybe the online format's best for them, or some just they like that personal interaction with the instructor and they want to be one night a week.
Okay. So like, for example, I know I worked for a grocery store for a short time, and they always have this scheduling where sometimes you work in the morning, sometimes you work in the day. Do you have classes that you could work with someone that has that type of
Yeah.
constantly moving schedule?
That's really what that online format's for, because it's completely asynchronous. So the course is still 5 or 6 weeks in
Yes.
length, But when you check in with your instructor is really up to you. You have requirements you have to complete throughout the week, and every
Okay.
week you have assignments, but when you complete them, it's really on your time. We do anticipate you spending about 15 to 20 hours a week doing your classwork, or if you're a student in class, being in class and doing your homework and discussing with other students. We are a very social media type society nowadays.
Yes.
Lots of you are probably watching this maybe on a Facebook or a YouTube. Well, just like you interact with other individuals through a Facebook, it'd be very similar to how you'd interact with your instructor or students in your class. There's discussion boards where questions would be asked, you'd be responding, other students would be responding to those questions or answers, and kind of having that, what would seem like an in-class discussion happening all through our online functions.
Okay.
Then have you noticed the employees there, they're okay with you having an online certificate versus a classroom?
Yeah, and this might be biased on my own opinion because of how long I've been in the industry.
Yes.
15 years ago, online was, oh my gosh, what's an online education?
Right.
Today, you look at most universities and they're trying to find out, well, how do we do it online? Because
They're
our
coming late.
needs have changed.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's become a very well-known type of modality for students to go to school. I mean, nowadays you can go to a community college, Fresno State, they have online classes as well. It's really just, is that the best fit for you, and does that work with what your needs are?
I like trying to find out the best fit because I've never taken online, probably never will.
Yeah.
Because I'm just one of those, got to see the instructor and I have to talk, maybe I have something after school that's just between me and them, and
Yeah.
I got to get a little sidebar, and so.
And I was a procrastinator, so I like to do things in class as well because I had a hard deadline.
Yes.
Where if I was online, I was at work all day on a computer. I don't want to see a computer again.
That's
or
right. You
the
talk
weekend would
yourself
come and I
out
don't.
of it.
So for me that worked. But every individual is unique, and that kind of comes back
Right.
to we would want to know what your unique situations are and how we can best help you, and if it fit in what
Right.
you were looking for. That's just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
You're also making sure what are you trying to accomplish? What are those end goals in mind? Our vision has this term in it that we want to be recognized as the most trusted provider of career-relevant education. So we don't want to put anyone into any degree for any reason. We want to identify what career
Right.
opportunities you're looking for.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean we promise that you're going to get the best job in the world as soon as you get your degree done. There's other factors that go into that as well.
Do you help with the job placement?
There's not a job placement program, and most universities actually don't do a job placement. They more do a career resources type
Okay.
role, where we have either job postings, where we have
A board to go look
assistants.
at and help you.
And the cool thing is the University of Phoenix has taken it beyond like, here's just some jobs.
Yes.
We help students identify what those jobs are, and then what do you do to actually prepare yourself for that job. So you
Okay.
can get customized resume building experience
Right.
with our resume building tool, and
Okay.
through a career coach.
Right.
You can actually go through and do sample interview questions.
Okay.
Well, we will interview
Okay.
or go through mock interviews through that particular service. So we do a lot to try to help students.
So there'll be a success.
Yeah, that's our goal, right? We want people to have the journey of being a completed, educated student, but what does that do for them? Because that's essentially, those are the best people to have out in the market. Those are the
Right.
ones that are saying, those are the stories that you got to see here today, and what a number of our graduates get to share about
Do
what
they
their
get
experiences
to
at
intern
university.
or just?
There are some intern opportunities through that same career services. We call it Phoenix Link. The nice thing about Phoenix Link is we also allow our employee partners to be able to post their careers through the Phoenix Link portal, where basically they have access now to all of our current students and over 1 million alumni at the university.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's a good way to get a free way to cite or post job sites for those organizations, and also a very direct link to our students, and of course based off of our students' competencies that they've built, which is basically identifying from what I've learned in courses I've gone through, this is what I should be competent. These are the skills I should have, and then we can help narrow those resumes, or excuse me, those job postings, to try to connect with what they're actually able to do.
That's good.
That's that data stuff.
Yeah,
No,
that's
you have
that.
statistics. Do you have a success story, your stats on how many have went out to the job market and been a success, or
There are some
come back and
some information. I don't have it all memorized because it is
Right.
actually degree specific and
Oh,
location
sure,
specific.
sure.
So if you go onto phoenix.edu, our website, you can actually go and review not just the consumer information guide, but also what are called fact sheets.
Yes.
And so a program would indicate a fact sheet, and it would say of those that graduated, who are employed of that area, or
Right.
salary ranges, all
Oh.
sorts of information that's
Good,
required
good.
for us to report.
good, and that's very helpful when you're out there trying to job hunt.
Yeah.
You want to know where they're hiring and who's done it before you, who's been a success, a trailblazer,
Yeah.
and then there you
And
are.
who can you network with that went to school with you? Because that's another part of the whole
That's
piece
right.
of this education to career. Is it's not just what you do in the classroom; it's what else you get involved with and who else you network with along the way to help get to that point of
That's
promoting or
Right.
getting into the job circuit that you're
So
looking
why
for.
don't you give the audience a highlight, the adult, the ones that are teetering, they're just like, I don't know if I have time yet. How do we push them to that
Besides
last
the website,
Yes.
Yeah, this might not be the
number?
best thing to hear, but you're never going to have time. If you're anything like my life, it's only gotten busier, it's only gotten more difficult, and I've only gotten more responsibilities. So essentially, there's never better time than now to do it because it's only going to get harder. And education, adding it to what your busy plate is right now, if you can imagine a plate in front of you at Thanksgiving, you probably fill it from rim to rim. That's our lives today, and now you're going to try to add a helping of education
more,
on top.
yeah.
It's going to be hard. There are the sacrifices you have to make.
Well, don't you also kind of share with them, if they come over to check out your campus, you kind of have other items that you, or classes or workshops that you offer to get them into that
Like-
mode of getting back into school?
like an orientation.
Yeah,
Kind
all
of,
students go through an orientation, and you also have the different resources, kind of like you've been mentioning, a life resource center that helps students from some free counseling options to dog sitting. There's a whole list of different options for those students through just that life resource center. There are a number of workshops that we offer that are wide range from like a resume building type workshop to
I like that.
personal branding and how do you use LinkedIn.
Right.
So there are a vast array of workshops, but essentially for the individual student, it's identifying how can I fit it with what I have going on. And I would just encourage you to connect with one of the individuals at the campus, have a conversation, and really an honest conversation about what your challenges are, and let's see if we can't help with some time management skills to get you into a place
Time
where, you know what?
Oh, time management is such a great skill.
Yep,
I'm
it's
telling
difficult.
you. And it is difficult. I still have trouble, every few days or so, you're late or
When you were
whatever.
talking about putting more on your plate, my mantra is you can't find time, you have to make time.
Yep. There's sacrifices and there's prioritization, and our working adult students, and statistics show. Recently, a study was released actually that the University of Phoenix did, and kind of it sent us out to actually produce a book and then
Really?
actually have a commercial behind it about our students being dragons. And it states that 30% of working adults are happy with the education they have right now. 80%, or excuse me, about 70% say, I'd like to go back to school, but out of that 70%, 80 say, I can't do it. There's too many things in my way. And the most highly cited areas are your cost for education and your time to complete your education.
It's not having a C versus a D.
And it's not just only the cost itself, it's that unknown cost. Education's been continuously increasing in cost. And so the University of Phoenix also says, we have to stop that. We have to make it so that students know that they can budget and plan for their future. So we've instituted a tuition guarantee. So when students start the University of Phoenix, they know that their tuition's locked in for the life of their program. So their tuition will never go up. They'll know exactly how much it costs, how long it's
So a
going
life
to
of a
take.
program, like for example, the detective, it took him, 4 years to finish? From start to finish, or?
Yeah, and yes and no. Every student's a little different.
Right.
So for instance, a detective could have come in with an associate's degree and their post-academy. We do what's called a prior learning assessment, where you can earn credit for certificates or life experiences. You could write an essay about being a
Right.
parent
Oh,
and actually
good.
earn college credit for some of your general
Well,
education.
maybe I'll check the master's degree then.
So students, that's where it really becomes such a personalized story, where students do have to really say, okay, can I figure this out, and trust some of the professionals to go through
You
your
don't
story
have
with
any
you.
roadblocks now.
No, you will. It's just, are you willing to overcome them? That's the hard part.
And probably you've seen a commercial or read somewhere where your experience is going to add to you, is going to help with what you're trying to do. You're not going to lose that experience or life skills that you have,
Right.
and they're going to count for something.
Yeah, for instance, like a student who's got a post-academy, which we were just speaking of, a
Right.
police officer, they're provided 30 college credits for the certificate program they went
Right.
through that's not traditionally transferable into a college program.
Right, okay,
So there are
okay.
a vast array of, I mean,
They didn't lose it.
you could actually technically be scuba diving certified and earn PE credits
Oh,
and earn some
sure.
general education. So why
Right.
go back and take those courses when you can actually, and
You're making it
Use it.
much, much easier.
it's just knowing how to go through the process. And then for 15 years, I've learned this process, and if I would have known it when I was young and first going to college or younger,
Let everyone, we have a short time, so let everyone, give everybody your vital information, website, how to get a hold of you, encourage them to just call.
yeah, so if you want to know the different workshops available, go to www.phoenix.edu/Central Valley. Phoenix is that weird word. It's Phoenix.
Yes.
So it's always the most misspelled word that's in the vocabulary.
Yes.
If you want to talk with someone individually, again, my name is Brooks Cornell, but I would want to get you connected with an individual by the name of Doug Hutchings. He would give a few brief questions to identify who's the appropriate individual specifically for your needs and your degree program. He can be reached at area code 559-312-1159 or doug.hutchings, HUTCHINGS, at phoenix.edu. And then we would get you connected in, prior learning assessment, modality, program, career, all that type of stuff.
Well, I
Sounds
love it.
good. Sounds
I
good.
love it. I mean,
I never knew.
A lot of information.
before we had to put up, like I said, with what I was doing, taking actual courses and trying to fit it in to what you're doing, and they only offered either in the day or at night. So this is a great program. Try it out. Check Brooks out, and we appreciate you coming over and sharing all this information. I'm so happy you did all these studies.
It's been so fun to be here. I appreciate your time as well.
Okay,
and
thank you so
for letting me
much.
share with all of you.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank
I
you
hope
for tuning
learn
in.
like I learned.
Next week, we're going to talk about bicycles and motorcycles.
Do
Alrighty?
we have time? No.
Oh, no, she said wrap it up. Thank you so much for checking in with us. Yo
All right.
Soy Neighborhoods Fresno.
All right, see you next week.
And thanks again.